I am Sullivan, a 43-year-old architect with what I thought was a perfect life. For 20 years I was married to Natalie, built a successful career, and raised two amazing kids. We had the beautiful home family vacations and plans for our retirement years together. Then, through a casual conversation with her friend Amanda, I accidentally discovered the truth. Natalie had been unfaithful at the beginning of our relationship, a deception that spanned our entire marriage. It shattered everything I believed about us. Before I tell you how my world collapsed after 2 decades of lies, let me know where you are watching from, and subscribe if you have ever had your trust completely shattered by someone you loved. I met Natalie during my junior year at Boston University. We were both 22. I was studying architecture buried in building designs and structural theories while she was finishing her psychology degree. We met at a campus coffee shop where she accidentally spilled her latte on my drafting notes. Instead of being upset, I was immediately captivated by her warm smile and genuine apology. She insisted on buying me coffee to make up for it, and we ended up talking for hours. Our connection was immediate and intense. Within weeks, we were inseparable. I fell hard for her intelligence, compassion, and the way she seemed to understand me better than I understood myself. 6 months into dating, I was certain she was the one. By our senior year, we were talking about our future together. After graduation, I secured an entry-level position at a prestigious architectural firm in Boston, while Natalie pursued her master's in counseling. We married young, both just 23, against the advice of our parents, who thought we should establish our careers first. But we were confident in our love, unwavering in our commitment to build a life together. The early years were challenging but beautiful. We lived in a tiny apartment, saved every penny, and supported each other through career setbacks and victories. When Natalie completed her degree, she found a position as a school counselor that she truly loved. My career progressed steadily, and by our 5th anniversary, we had enough saved for a down payment on a small house in the suburbs. Our family grew with the birth of our daughter Emma when we were 26. 3 years later, our son Jake completed our family. Life became a busy balance of careers and parenting, but we seemed to navigate it well as a team. I designed our dream house, which we built when the kids were in elementary school. From the outside, we had it all. As the years passed, I noticed small things that occasionally gave me pause. Natalie was secretive about certain aspects of her college years, changing the subject whenever specific time periods came up. She maintained separate email accounts, which she explained were for work privacy. There were occasional unexplained absences or late nights that she attributed to counseling emergencies or meetings. I dismissed these as normal aspects of a busy life and marriage. Our 20th anniversary was approaching when Amanda moved to Boston. She and Natalie had been close in college but lost touch over the years except for holiday cards and occasional social media interactions. Recently divorced, Amanda had taken a job at a hospital across town and reached out to reconnect. Natalie was thrilled to have her old friend nearby, and I was happy to see her excitement. The three of us often spent time together, and I genuinely liked Amanda. She was straightforward and funny, with a refreshing honesty that contrasted with my wife's more measured personality. I encouraged Natalie to maintain their friendship, even suggesting regular ladies' nights out so they could catch up properly. The revelation came on a Friday evening after one such outing. Amanda had too many martinis and Natalie called me to pick them up. I helped Amanda to our guest room, while Natalie went to the master bathroom to shower. As I was making sure Amanda had water and aspirin, she looked at me with glassy eyes and said, "You know, Sullivan, you are such a good guy. Way better than that jerk Nathan from that crazy summer." I had no idea who Nathan was. "Nathan?" I asked, confused. Amanda's eyes widened in horror. "Oh God. She never told you about Nathan," I thought after all these years. She trailed off suddenly, looking sick in a way that had nothing to do with alcohol. "Told me. What about Nathan?" I pressed, a strange chill settling in my stomach. Amanda tried to backtrack, claiming she was drunk and confused. But her reaction had been too genuine, too panicked. I sat on the edge of the guest bed and calmly told her I needed to know what she was talking about. After several tense minutes of resistance, Amanda finally broke. "Nathan was the guy Natalie was seeing when she first met you. But she did not break up with him when you two got serious. She kept seeing both of you." My mind reeled. For how long, I managed to ask. Amanda looked away. Almost the entire time you were dating. Even during your engagement. She only fully broke it off after you were married. I felt like I had been punched. She was with another man during our entire courtship, including when I proposed. When we were planning our wedding, Amanda nodded miserably. I am so sorry, Sullivan. I thought you knew by now. It was so long ago. But it was not long ago to me. It was happening in that moment, 20 years of what I believed about my marriage crumbling in an instant. The next morning, Amanda left early, clearly wanting to escape the situation. Natalie seemed oblivious, mentioning only that her friend had drunk too much. I maintained a facade of normalcy, while my mind raced with questions. Who was Nathan? How serious had they been? Was my entire relationship a lie? I waited until Monday when Natalie returned to work and the kids were at school. Then I began my investigation. I started with our old photo albums from college. There were suspicious gaps in the timeline periods with few pictures together that matched what Amanda had revealed. I checked our digital archives' old emails and letters we had kept. In a box in the attic, I found a journal Natalie kept during our first year together. She had shown it to me once years ago, pointing out entries about how much she loved me, but I had never read it completely. Now, I searched through it feeling like an intruder in my own marriage. There were coded entries that made more sense with this new context, references to feeling torn and conflicted during times I remembered as perfect happiness. I reached out to old college friends I had not spoken to in years. No one seemed surprised when I mentioned Nathan. Mark, my former roommate, confirmed he had seen Natalie with another guy several times when she had told me she was studying late. Janet, who lived in Natalie's dorm, remembered Natalie leaving campus some weekends to visit her other boyfriend, when I thought she was visiting her parents. The more I dug, the more evidence I found. But I needed something concrete. I remembered Natalie maintained several email accounts, including an old one she rarely used anymore. One evening, while she was at a school function, I sat at our shared home computer. The password manager offered to fill in credentials for her old account, something I had never tried to access before. The account contained thousands of archived messages, most mundane, but there was a folder labeled simply N. Inside were hundreds of exchanges between Natalie and Nathan, spanning years, including our dating period and engagement. I read them with growing horror. Miss you already. Sullivan suspects nothing. 2 more days until I can see you again. Cannot wait for this weekend. Told S. I am visiting my sister. The ring is beautiful, but I felt so guilty when he proposed. Still not sure what to do. The wedding is in 3 weeks. We need to talk about what happens next. The last message was sent 2 days before our wedding. This is harder than I thought. Part of me still wants to run away with you. I sat in our home office, physically shaking. The messages confirmed not just a casual fling, but a serious, ongoing relationship. They had discussed a future together, even as Natalie planned a wedding with me. I had been her second choice, or perhaps just the safer option. Worse, I began to question everything. Were Emma and Jake my biological children? Had the affair truly ended at our marriage, or had it continued? I ordered discreet paternity tests, which later confirmed both children were mine. A small relief in the tsunami of betrayal. I consulted with a divorce attorney just to understand my options. Massachusetts was a no-fault divorce state, so her past infidelity would not impact a settlement. But I needed to protect my position at my architecture firm and ensure I would have equal time with my children. After 2 weeks of investigation, I was ready to confront Natalie. I arranged for Emma and Jake to spend the weekend with my parents, telling them we needed some time to discuss anniversary plans. When they left on Friday afternoon, I sat Natalie down in our living room. We need to talk about Nathan, I said simply. The color drained from her face. How do you know that name? Amanda mentioned him. She thought I knew. Natalie immediately grew defensive. That was 20 years ago. Sullivan. Ancient history. Not to me. I just found out my entire marriage was built on a lie. You were seeing another man the entire time we were dating, even when we were engaged. She tried denial first. Amanda is exaggerating. Nathan was just a friend. I silently retrieved printouts of the emails and placed them on the coffee table between us. She stared at them, then at me, her defenses crumbling. "It was complicated," she finally said. "I cared about both of you. I could not choose. But you were with me. You agreed to be exclusive. You accepted my proposal knowing you were still involved with him." Tears formed in her eyes. "I was young and confused. I loved you both, for different reasons. He was exciting and passionate, but you were stable and kind. I knew you would be a better husband, a better father." Her words cut deeply. I was the safe choice, not the one she truly wanted. "So you settled for me?" "No," she protested. "I chose you. In the end, I chose you. I have been faithful since we married. 20 years, Sullivan. 20 good years. Does that count for nothing because of a mistake when I was 22? We argued for hours." She swung between defensive justification and tearful apologies. She insisted that while she had betrayed me then, she had been a loyal wife since. She argued that bringing up the past would only destroy the good life we had built. "But our good life is a lie," I countered. "Every anniversary we have celebrated was marking another year of deception. Our entire foundation is rotten." By midnight, we were both exhausted. Natalie begged for another chance, promising therapy, transparency, whatever it would take. I told her I needed space and moved to the guest room. I took a week off work, something I rarely did. I could not focus on building designs when my own life had such structural damage. Each day I walked through our neighborhood for hours, replaying moments from our relationship with this new context. Our first anniversary, when Natalie seemed distant, was shortly after she ended things with Nathan, according to the timeline I had pieced together. The period when she was uncharacteristically depressed during our second year of marriage now made sense if she was mourning her other relationship. I consulted a therapist, Dr. Marshall, who specialized in betrayal trauma. He helped me understand that my feelings of anger, grief, and disorientation were normal responses. "You are not just dealing with the infidelity itself," he explained. "You are processing the fact that the narrative of your entire relationship has changed. It is like waking up to find you have been living in a different house than you thought." Natalie tried everything to fix things. She left heartfelt letters on my pillow. She prepared my favorite meals. She suggested couples therapy, offering to take full responsibility. She assured me repeatedly that she had been faithful since our wedding, that she truly loved me and our life together. But every time I considered forgiveness, I remembered those emails. The calculated deception, the double life. The way she had looked me in the eyes and lied day after day while maintaining a relationship with another man. If she could sustain such a significant deception, then how could I ever fully trust her again? The situation reached a breaking point when I discovered something even more disturbing. While checking our shared cloud storage for some tax documents, I found recent communications between Natalie and Nathan. Nothing explicitly romantic, but friendly emails and occasional text messages over the years, some as recent as 6 months ago. She had maintained contact with her affair partner throughout our marriage, something she had explicitly denied during our confrontation. When I confronted her with this evidence, she claimed they were innocent exchanges, that they had eventually become just friends, that she saw no reason to mention it, since nothing inappropriate was happening. "You hid it because you knew it was wrong," I said. "You knew maintaining any relationship with him would hurt me, especially once I learned the truth about your past. It was the final straw." That night I told Natalie I wanted a divorce. "I cannot live with someone I do not trust," I explained, "and I will never fully trust you again." Her reaction was extreme. First came hysteria and pleas, then threats of self-harm that had me so concerned I called her sister to come stay with her. Finally, anger and blame directed at Amanda for revealing her secret. Through it all, I remained firm in my decision. The marriage I thought I had did not exist, and I could not pretend otherwise. The next day I found a small apartment and moved the essential items I needed. I told the children we were separating when they returned from my parents' house. Emma at 17 was old enough to sense something had been wrong for weeks. Jake at 14 was more confused and upset. I assured them both that while my relationship with their mother had changed, my love for them was unalterable. I promised that we would work out a co-parenting arrangement that prioritized their well-being. The divorce process was painful but necessary. Natalie alternated between trying to reconcile and bitter accusations. Friends and family took sides, but I remained resolute, knowing I was making the right choice for my long-term peace. 6 months after moving out, I had established a new routine. My apartment was small but comfortable, with a spare bedroom for Emma and Jake during their time with me. I threw myself into my architectural work, even securing a major project, designing a new community arts center. The co-parenting arrangement was challenging at first. Natalie and I communicated primarily through text and email, keeping conversations focused on the children. Emma initially sided with her mother, feeling I had abandoned the family. Jake was quieter about his feelings, but started acting out at school. Both attended counseling, which gradually helped them adjust to our new family structure. My personal support system surprised me. Some married friends disappeared, perhaps viewing divorce as contagious, but others showed unexpected loyalty. My brother Ryan, who lived across town, invited me for weekly dinners. Colleagues made efforts to include me in weekend activities. Even Amanda, who felt responsible for the upheaval, checked in regularly. I debated for years whether to tell you she confessed. I kept thinking Natalie would come clean eventually. Dating again at 43 was terrifying. The last time I had been single, smartphones did not exist, and online dating was in its infancy. My first attempts were awkward disasters. A coffee date with a divorced pediatrician ended when she spent 2 hours discussing her ex-husband. A dinner with a woman 15 years younger than me highlighted our generational gap when she had to explain most of her cultural references. Trust was my biggest hurdle. I found myself analyzing casual comments for inconsistencies, wondering about unexplained absences or delayed text responses. Dr. Marshall helped me recognize these behaviors as trauma responses rather than rational concerns. You need to heal before you can fully engage in a new relationship, he advised. Otherwise, you will punish a new partner for Natalie's actions. 3 months into the divorce proceedings, I experienced a pivotal moment. I was dining alone at a restaurant when I spotted Natalie and Nathan at a corner table, clearly on a date. My initial reaction surprised me. Instead of jealousy or anger, I felt validation and even a strange sense of relief. She had returned to the man she had truly wanted all along. Perhaps they would make each other happy in a way our marriage built on deception never could. I paid my bill and left without making my presence known. That night I slept better than I had in months, as if seeing them together had finally released something within me. The children gradually adjusted to our new reality. Emma, approaching college age, began to understand the complexities of adult relationships. Mom told me what happened, she said during one of our weekend visits. I am sorry I was so hard on you at first. Jake found positive outlets for his emotions through a school basketball program I made sure to attend every game for. 9 months after separation, I met Diane at an architectural conference. Also divorced, she was a landscape architect who specialized in sustainable design. Our professional interests aligned naturally, but it was her forthright nature that truly attracted me. On our second date, she openly discussed her failed marriage and the lessons she had learned. Her honesty was refreshing after years of hidden truths. We took things slowly, both carrying baggage from our past relationships. I was transparent about my trust issues, and she was patient with my occasional need for reassurance. For the first time, I experienced a relationship built on complete honesty from the foundation, and the difference was profound. The divorce was finalized after 1 year. The property division was straightforward, and we established a clear co-parenting agreement. Natalie and I achieved a cordial relationship focused on our children's well-being. I later learned her relationship with Nathan had ended after a few months, reinforcing my belief that their connection had always been more about fantasy than reality. Looking back, I realized that ending my marriage was not about punishing Natalie for past infidelity. It was about honoring my own need for authenticity. Trust is the foundation of love, and without it, even 2 decades of shared history cannot sustain a relationship. While I lost the marriage I thought I had, I gained something more valuable: self-respect and the courage to seek genuine connection. I do not regret the 20 years with Natalie. Those years gave me my children countless beautiful memories and important life lessons. But I also do not regret walking away when I discovered the truth. Some might call it throwing away a good thing over ancient history. I call it refusing to live a lie, no matter how comfortable that lie might be. Have you ever had to make the difficult choice between your happiness and maintaining a broken relationship? Share your experiences in the comments below. If my journey resonated with you, please hit subscribe and like this video so others facing similar difficult decisions can find it. Consider sharing with someone who might need permission to choose truth in their own life. Thank you for listening to my story, and remember, it is never too late to build a life based on honesty, even after 20 years of living something else.